we're chatting with the guys at HAIRitage Barbershop about all of the biggest headlines.
Welcome to another episode of HAIRitage Sports Talk. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe so that way that you know every time we're posting. We're live. We're here at HAIRitage Sports Talk. We're going to talk a little bit about this Super Bowl. We got the Eagles. Oh, we got the Chiefs. So we're going to see who's going to take down who. And then we're going to talk about some of the intangibles that went on during this AFC and the NFC. And at this time, I want to introduce my man, my right-hand man in the game on this HAIRitage Sports Talk show right now. Mr. Tony Harvey is going to pop in on us real quick. How you doing this morning? So we're going to talk about how my man, look who we got, Mr. Fame. What's up, Mr. Fame?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing good this morning, bro. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are and let them know that you the #1 Eagles fan around this joint.
That's right. Yeah, I go by the name of Ricky Fame. You know what I'm saying? One of the flyest barbers in your city. You can hit me up on Instagram at _barber_pro_, man. We're here, man, and I predicted it, man, since the beginning of the season. The Philadelphia Eagles will return to the Super Bowl. Absolutely.
You said it from week one, man. How you feeling about that squad though right now? Just real quick.
Man, feeling great, man. I mean, I think Saquon, man, has really gelled with the offensive line, and he's just picking these defenses apart, man. Like, this is the best line he's had in his career, and you can tell.
All right.
By the way, performances.
Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna jump into the show real quick, you guys. Mr. Tony Harvey right now is having a few difficulties with our technology that's going on, but I want to jump into the show. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's push this. We're trying to push this to 1,000. Be a part of that, y'all. And I think we can do that real quick. We can get this done by the end of the week. As we sit here and we get ready to jump off into HAIRitage Sports Talk, I want to welcome Mr. Antonio Tony Ray Harvey to the show. How you doing this morning?
Doing great. How you doing this morning, this mid-afternoon, Mr. Rodney? Big fan.
Doing good. I'm doing good. It's good seeing you this morning.
Yes, a lot of sports to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about this morning. I want to start the day off with, I want to bring up Mr. Sir Lewis Carl Davison Hamilton. Somebody asked me this morning, when did he become a sir? I'm not sure, but that's his title, Sir Lewis Hamilton. He was born on January 7th, 1985. And this is for those that don't know. He's a British racing driver. He's contracted to compete in Formula One for Ferrari. Hamilton won a joint record of 7 Formula One World Drivers' Championship titles. He's tied with Michael Schumacher, and he holds records for the most wins at 105. He also holds more records, pole position at 104, and podium finishes at 202, amongst many other accolades. How y'all feeling that this brother is not really getting just due when it comes to the media? Talking about this man, like he's got one of the dopest cars now out there on the F1. He's driving for Ferrari. Have any of you seen any of this in the mass media right now at this point?
Well, I do know that he is the youngest world Formula One driver. I mean, he's only he just made 40 years of age. Okay, yes. His name been out here for a few years, and he's winning a lot of these races, man. I mean, when you talk about Formula One and the Grand Prix racing and driving, and Indy 500 and all this stuff, he's one of the top drivers in the world, in the universe. No, he's not getting a lot of play there. I don't know if that has something to do with the sponsor or the sport itself, but no, it's not really getting out there like the way it is. Okay, and this young man, he was born. His family came from the West Indies. Grenada, okay, and then they immigrated, over here to British. They came from a long way. They had, the biggest means and stuff. And look at it, how he expanded this and stuff. This is the thing that inspire others, people of color, to do these type of things. And I don't care what country he's in. That's what do, you know. But obviously, I'm not saying there's got to be some racism in there, but there got to be some type of politics in there, fame and Rodney, for them not to promote and market this man the way he is. Because it seems like every time he's, you know, he put the wheel on the pavement, you know, he comes out a winner. And if he's not if he's not the winner, I know he's one of the top drivers, you know, whatever lane that he finishes in. It's the winner circle here we're talking about, man. No, he's not getting a lot of play.
He's not getting a lot of play. You know, and I'm surprised because he used to drive for Mercedes. And
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And people thought when he left Mercedes, well, not when he left, but when the contract was due, that he was going to re-sign with Mercedes. But Ferrari jumped in. They saw the opportunity. And this is really the most pub I've ever seen him get. So I'm surprised Mercedes didn't push him out there like that. But, you know, Ferrari's in there. So I want to give the brother props and continue on his track record. No pun intended, but continue on the track record and finishing at that #1 spot and at the pole position, man.
It's pretty impressive when you're driving for these type of these, you know, high-end luxury car dealers. I mean, not car dealers, but, you know, automobile factories and stuff, especially, you know, like Mercedes. You know, we know Mercedes and BMW history from background, you know. They started off as airplanes, okay? Both of them, Mercedes and BMWs. Then, you know, there was a treaty made, and then the next thing you know, they got into the car business. That's why when you're driving these type of automobiles, you feel like, you know, you're flying and stuff, you know, in an aircraft. That's what he's promoting. This is what he's promoting. But, you know, it's just, I'm not, you know, talking strictly about aerial. We're talking about automobile. I'm talking these. I mean, he's driving 200 miles per hour in these vehicles, okay? And that's what he's doing. He's promoting their products, Ferraris, Mercedes, whoever seat that he's sitting in. They got to do more. Now, I think Ferrari probably know that they have to market him just a little bit more, you know, to give him that edge so everybody know who this young man is. I shouldn't say young man. I mean, he just turned 40 years old, but I'm glad that you brought that up, though, Rodney, because this is definitely a serious sports issue that we all need to be connected about. We're going to talk more about him in the future.
We're going to talk more about him. All right, we're going to jump in. I'm going to start bringing in these cats in. All right, y'all. We done met Mr. Ricky Fame. I got my man that's sitting on the side, Fame. Now we got Mr. D Speed. How you doing, sir?
Here I am.
What's up?
Now, what's going on, man? Top of the morning, gentlemen. How are you doing? Rick, I owe you a salute to you and your Eagles. So let me get that out the way.
Thank you, Mr.
Let me get that out the way, brother. I wanted to give you yours. I see you got the flag, you know, flying in the background. It's well deserved. Y'all put on a dope show. We'll get into that. I am D Speed, Dwayne D Speed. I am the owner of D Speed the Barber, Luxury Barber Studio, at D Speed the Barber, all social media platforms. Now that we got that out the way, man, it feels good to be here. Again, I am honored to have my presence felt and to be allowed on this platform.
It's a pleasure having you on, brother. We appreciate you tapping in and being a part of this, man. All right, we're going to jump into it. I got a couple pre-subjects I want to talk about. We had some hirings going over last week. I thought they were pretty important hirings. The first one, whoever wants to talk about this one, let's talk about Dallas and hiring Brian Schottenheimer. He's a head coach. I got a few words on it, and very much my few words is he's from the inside. He was the OC. I don't think too much is going to change in Dallas just because of the hiring him. I thought that them bringing in prime time would have been a dope concept. I think he would have got the boys on point and had them ready to run. But at this point, when you bring in Schottenheimer, you got to look at it like this. I was listening to the playmaker, Michael Irvin, talk the other day. He said, the problem with Dallas is there's no curfews, there's no rules. You come when you want to come, and you got to think this man's around this team 24/7. And so at the same time, bringing in Schottenheimer has been running like this, and he's been a part of the system. He said it himself. It's not going to change because what's going to happen is he's going to try to put in and implement some rules, and the team is going to be like, hey, bro, this is what we're doing. We got you the job, but this is how we're going to do it. All of a sudden, you want to put in rules. How y'all feel on it?
Everybody knows I detest Cowboys, so we're not gonna make that quiet. Um, real talk, I think he's. Uh oh, my back.
You
Yeah,
back
you
on?
on?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I think he's a seat filler. My bad. Was getting some disturbance. He's a seat filler. Everybody knows. I mean, Michael Irvin said it best in his own way. The team knows it in their own way, and I think Jerry Jones knew what he was doing. I don't believe that Schottenheimer is going to hold this position for longer than a year. He's just trying to throw something against the wall and see if it sticks, so it can look good aesthetically, but it's not going to get the job done. They know what they need, and they know who they need. If they go after Dion, yeah, I don't know if he's ready to leave Colorado, but that's who I would go for. If you could get him, that's who will change the dynamic of that whole team as a whole. Because it
Yeah.
starts not even from the coaching staff, it starts from even the trainers and like everybody who like they bought into this old system. You need to shake that up because there ain't nothing happening.
Right, right, right. All right. So now we got the Raiders, y'all. Raiders hired Pete Carroll, head coach. What's the
Yeah,
vibes?
yeah, that was a surprising hire. Man, I thought Pete Carroll retired from being a coach. He hasn't been coaching for a few years, so and I know Marshawn Lynch probably doesn't like the idea of him coaching the Raiders because he's all Raiders and all that and so forth. But Pete Carroll's a good coach. He hasn't been, like I said, he hasn't been in the league coaching in a few years, but he's known to take teams in the playoffs and be a contender. And
Yeah.
hopefully, Raiders do that and actually bring the Raiders in their winning ways, so to speak, again. Because we haven't seen the Raiders win anything in a very long time.
Yep, since the 80s. And I think in the 80s, I was probably a teenager. Anyway, so
Right.
let's jump forward, y'all. Hey, Speed, 49ers.
Hey,
They brought back to DC, man. Robert Saleh.
man. It's only right. It's only right. The reason why it is because look at what happened when he was carrying the reins of that team. Like I think it was what from 2017 is when he came. He
The
changed
20,
the whole dynamic of that. No, was it 20?
I
It was
think it
17 to
was
20, right?
21,
Yeah.
17 to
He
20,
changed the
yeah.
whole dynamic of that defense from all aspects. And there was some dogs over there. Look at the numbers. I have them
Yeah,
written down, but look at the numbers. There was some dogs. I think that's
yeah.
what they needed. When
That's
when
what,
he when the Jets let him go back in October, I was like, oh, he coming home. I had a feeling. I already
yes,
knew it.
sir.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
Yes, sir.
proud of them. I'm proud of them. I'm real talk. I'm proud of the Eagles defense because I'm a defensive person. I love defense, even though you can't stop what Barkley doing. But
All right.
that dog defense was created by somebody who got a strong defensive mind. Now we got ours back. Nothing against what was it, DeMarco or what was the head coach down there? I mean,
We had,
he over there at in the Texans. No offense to him, but Salah had us at some dogs.
yeah,
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. We
that's
need
when the,
that if we're gonna go up against anybody. We need that.
that's real talk. Real talk. Mr. Harvey, Chicago Bears, they brought in Ben Johnson and then offensive coordinator DeClan Doyle and then your defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. You feeling good about that, man? Is that a
Oh yeah, I
vibe for
like
you?
all those moves, especially with Ben Johnson too. I think I was always saying that you have to match what Caleb Williams is going to do in the future, and I just felt like he needed a quarterback coach that has the confidence in him and put him in the right position to win. And I think that's mainly why and I mean they plucked him right out of the same division, so that's
Right.
the direction that they're going. And I don't want to bring up old stuff with a Eberflus and all that when he was there and stuff, but these type of decisions should have happened a long time ago. But I think if they give Ben the autonomy to do what he need to do with the talent that he already has and the talent that he's coming in, they're going to shore up the defense. I think they can make some noise in that division next year with Caleb Williams. So yes, Rodney, I'm liking all of that. Just got to
Okay.
put it together and see what the offseason holds and what's going on with the draft. Maybe they could make a couple more trades. But everything looks promising. I still like to see one or two more receivers up in there, talented
Okay.
receivers for him to work with, and then maybe they could put together a winning formula.
Okay,
But I'm liking
definitely.
all of that.
Yeah,
All right.
And I think the Bears defense is going to come back too. I'm talking about the monsters of Midway and stuff. That's one of
Hey,
pillars of this organization. That's always been behind the defense. So let's see what happens with that.
it's about to be an interesting offseason, man. It's gonna be interesting. Let's jump into these games, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all ready? All right, look. I'm
Start
gonna
with
start off with
Fame.
hey,
The man of
let's
the
talk
hour.
about it. The Eagles and the Commanders. Now, coming into the game, Commanders was at the top of their game. Daniels still set a record for playoffs for a rookie, over 800 yards, passing yards. Didn't look too bad, didn't look too great, but he played. And he got to a point to where a lot of rookies don't get. So when we're talking about, he went 29 for 48, 255 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. He 6 rushes for 48 yards on an 8-yard average. He got a TD on the ground. Ertz went for 11 for 104 yards. And the defense sacked my man Hurts twice. Hurts came out of the game on top though, and Hurts looked good. Hurts had what, 3 in the air, and then your boy Barkley had 3 on the ground, 15 rushes for 100+ yards. Let's talk about the game, y'all. How y'all feeling about the game?
Who was the guy?
Rick,
Was it that Shipley who bust out for a 60-yarders?
yeah, man. I hate to say it though.
Come on.
Not me. I mean, it's not speaking from an Eagle fan perspective, but when I seen that first play from scrimmage that Barkley scored on, I knew the game. It was,
you know that was good. So
it's your moment. It's your moment to shine, Rick. Talk about it, big dog. What happened?
Talk about it, bro.
Tell me what you saw as soon as they said hi.
I'm gonna tell you what. That first play from scrimmage broke the whole back of the whole defense in Washington. The whole game is over with because we gonna be able to run on them all day long. And guess what Saquon did?
All day long. I'm gonna tell you this. I had to watch that from a different perspective. My hat's off to the young man. Daniels did what he was supposed to do. And he accomplished some great feats being a rookie. But at the end of the day, bro, you got to play great. You ain't got to play good. That every single game you got to play great. You just practice good. You really supposed to practice great. But now that's a different aspect. You went up against some Eagles. They already showed you. They was there, in the last 5 or 8 years or 5 years, 3 times? They know what they got to play like. They some dogs, and you added Barkley to that. I'm a defensive man. That defense showed up and put a different perspective on him. He still was able to get off and get – Daniels was able to get off and get his, but you came up against a defense that was hungry. And then you went up against an offense that was monstrous.
We came into the game as a number 1 ranked defense.
Yeah.
It was put together. All our last few years of all those draft picks with Nolan and Carter, Davis, we took dang near the whole Georgia defensive line from the last 3 years and put them all together so they could play together. That was the most ingenious thing I think an organization, could ever do to rebuild their defense. And we definitely needed to rebuild our defense from the last time we were in the Super Bowl. It kind of showed when we got to the final game, we got to the big game. Our defense, gave up the big plays. So this year, we got Quinyon Mitchell. He's a shutdown corner already as a rookie.
Right. He was raw. But look at when y'all got Barkley. The intelligence of a running back is very mental. His skill set and his ability gonna get him there. But if you got a smart running back and can see how his offensive line blocks, look at what he can create. Man. He showed you that on the first play. Man. Again, New York is shooting. They Della Reese themselves, bro. Right. And the pinky toe. Because they should have understand the intelligence of the person that you got at that position. Like that dude is intelligent and showed you his athleticism showed you.
So, do you think that? Let me ask you guys something real quick. Do you think that what the Eagles did and how the Eagles played this past weekend, taking this into the Super Bowl, going up against, we know it's going to be the Chiefs, do they have to play a better game, or do they play the way that they played with the intensity that they played, or do they have to even like build that even more?
Yeah,
You ask me, they got to do all of that. They got to do all of that. And let me just say, Super Bowl is going to be on what, February the 9th on Fox. What's that, Super Bowl 59 and stuff. But they're going to have to do all of that, Roddy. They're going to do all of it. And we all know the defense got to be popping and the running game got to be popping. That's why I'm going with Philly. I'm just going to make my declaration right now that Philly is going to take this from the Chiefs, and they're going to do it in that fashion with the defense and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I was waiting for my team to finally keep their foot on the opponent's neck. And that's what we did. In the past, we've got leads, we've blown them, we got beat just because we didn't keep our foot on the opposing team's neck, and that's what we did yesterday. We set the bar, and I believe the Eagles are going to play the same way. And if not more intense, they're going to step it up even more. They defense has gained major confidence. That boy Jalen Carter is something else. I seen him hurdle a player just to get out of his way. I'm like, does a tackle ever do that?
Good.
My thing with that, Rick,
he is a game changer.
Yeah, they're game changers on both sides of the ball.
But here's the thing with that. I think the Eagles have the ability, the capability, and the manpower to do exactly what they did that first play next week. The reason why you have to play with even more of a higher intensity than that is because you got to take the refs out.
Yes,
we
sir.
already seen what. We'll get into that part later, but you gotta take the refs out. And if you start the game with a higher intensity of the way that you started right before, when you play Washington, they out way before they even showed up to the arena. I want you to put it, and I'm not a hurting. I mean, everybody deserves kudos to make it to the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not talking about players. I'm not talking about teams. I'm talking about reps. Take them out by being super, super, intense. You can't even come with that same intensity. You got to kick it up a notch. Now you got to turn it all the way up. We've seen what you're capable of. You got to turn it all the way up on them.
Yes, sir.
I also want to give Jaden Daniels his flowers for being as young as he is and having the composure and the poise to lead his team into the playoffs. It reminds me of Jalen Hurts when he got his first starting position as a full starter, first time full starter. We went to the playoffs. He took us to the playoffs. Like, we kind of knew we had something special. We just need to build around him, and that's what we've done in the last few years. So I'm proud of Jaden. Making flowers for my guy.
I think
I'm right there with you, fam. He does deserve his flowers. That was an incredible performance, through the playoffs. I know he came up short, yesterday, but that was an incredible performance all season, because I've been watching him all season. To be perfectly honest, I had him on one of my fantasy football teams. I mean, I didn't know he was going to do all of that. I couldn't take him out the lineup. So that's how special he is, and hopefully, he'll get better. Usually they say these quarterbacks run into a sophomore, wall or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen here. I think he knows how to prepare for games now. He just played 17 games of his professional career so far, but he knows how to prepare for games. So I think he's going to be really well situated in position to win a lot more games for the DC area, Baltimore area.
Yeah, I think we found our next superstar quarterback. On to the next, y'all. So the Chiefs and the Bills. Now, looking at this game, Josh Allen had 22 for 34, 237 yards, 2 TDs. No INTs at all. Cook had 85 yards for 2 TDs. Mahomes didn't have his biggest game, but he had a decent game, 18 to 26, which is good. 245 in the air and 1 TD. Hunt 17 carries for 64 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, it wasn't a massive offensive game. They did play some defense. And I will say this, that the Bills had their opportunity. Now, what I do want to talk about before we get into the Chiefs being in the Super Bowl, I think the change of the game came down when the Bills was denied the first down on a controversial spot at a critical juncture in the loss to the Chiefs, right? So they was holding a 22-21 lead, with 13:01 remaining in the fourth quarter on Kansas City 41-yard line. We had a line judge. The first line judge said he got it. The second line judge came in a few inches behind him, and ultimately they said he didn't get the call. Me personally, and the first one that went out, he had the best view of the play. He had the best view of everything, but they overturned it. They gave the first down to the Chiefs. The Chiefs went on to score. They scored 7 points, went ahead. That pretty much sold the game for me.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. You can't let the game get so close to where it's determined by a call. That's why we got to blow the Chiefs out the water. So there's no misunderstanding, no chance of us getting beat by the refs, period.
Last week I called it. I didn't think I was going to be this accurate, but and just like I said earlier, you have to take the refs out the game. It's a championship game. Even though it's not the Super Bowl, it's still a championship game. So you realize who you're playing and what you're up against. But the person who had the best vantage point, and the TV clearly showed you, as the refs were walking from each sideline to the ball placement, it showed you. That ref on that near sideline to where the far one was walking a shorter of the yards, he had the best vantage point, and that's why he marked the ball the way he did. For them to overturn it, it was like, man, come on. That took me out of being so like bought in on the game. You keep the rep. You gotta let these players play.
Yeah, let them play some old school, good old school football. All right,
Man.
Super Bowl prediction, real quick. Super Bowl prediction. Ricky, I ain't gonna even ask you, bro. We already got you. You good. Harvey, what you feeling, man, with the Super? Rick, how you feel though, man? You think you gonna?
Let me go and take the floor one time for you guys.
Come on, talk your B.
Eagles when they win the Super Bowl. Mark my words. I predicted.
What's the score?
Okay. What is?
Barkley trade? I already knew we was going to Super Bowl. That's all we needed.
Okay, what's your main point of how they gonna win this game, and what's the best way for them to win this game?
Keep their foot on the opposing team's neck and don't let up. Keep the pedal to the floor.
All right.
Place it and thinking that a lead is gonna be good enough. We gotta make sure we just go all the way out and keep our foot on their neck, and that's what we're gonna do. We had an example. Yeah.
Come on, who you got, man? I get it. You're right. You 100 right. Who you think, D?
I'm not gonna lie to you, and I know I'm gonna do my brother Rick proud with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say it for him. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I think they're gonna win the same way they have been winning. You got to look at Saquon, bro. I'm gonna talk about his intelligence. Yeah, I love the defense. You got the boys over there with the defensive dog. But Saquon is intelligent, and you can always. He did an interview after the game, and it reminded me a little bit of a Kobe-esque when they were up, and he was like, you were 2-1. He's like, nah, job's not finished yet. Like, job's not finished yet. I don't think you've seen the end. I think now he realizes the stage, and you about to put some respect on that boy's name. And I don't think KC can do nothing about it.
All right.
I already gave you my prediction earlier. I'm flying with the Eagles. I'm flying with I'm flying with fame and speed on this one. Saquon Barkley, always know he was proven, but to say that he's Kobe-esque, that speaks a lot of volumes, because that's exactly how he was playing yesterday. He just had that energy and that spirit that, hey, it's go time. It's go time. All systems go. That's going to carry on into these next couple of weeks. And I'll say it again. It's going to come down to the defense and Saquon Barkley. They're going to do as much as they can do to keep that ball out of Mahomes' hand. That's going to be the game plan. I can tell you that right now. Okay? And that's going to depend on that running game.
Yeah.
We will see that in action. Because I don't want to see no more of this cheap stuff. Okay? I'm not
Hey,
You know, I think she's a great artist and everything. I'm tired of looking at Taylor
Say,
Swift.
what's the
What was
backup
that?
running back?
What was that gesture that you said, Speed, that she was doing? You know, I don't want to see that. I want to see the
Hey,
football game. Okay,
oh my
there you.
Right.
God.
Oh my! Like her
You
album
all
just went
shut
number
the hell
one.
up. They scored a touchdown. You didn't find the fountain of youth. LaFay, what's y'all backup running back name? What's y'all backup running back,
Talking
bro?
about Shipley.
Hey, when
Shipley,
he
yeah.
busted,
Shipley.
hey, hey, when
Everybody.
he busted on one, I
Everybody wants.
said, ooh.
Shipley from
But
Clemson.
look at how Saquon was reacting when Bro was running. He
Yeah.
like, go get him.
But
Go
but
get
you
him.
know what? I want to say this too. Um, Not only is Saquon is something that we needed on the field, it
Yeah,
was something we needed in the locker room because his whole mentality changed our whole locker room's mentality.
yeah,
Because before that, we was having all type of controversy, wondering, if Jalen Hurts is funking with AJ Brown and
AJ Brown, yeah.
has
Yeah.
has Sirianni lost the locker room,
yeah.
all kinds of stuff. And Saquon, like you say, he brought that Kobe mentality to the team, and that's what
Mhm.
we really need. More importantly than his play on the field, and you can tell, man, he pumps up everybody on the defense. He pumps up everybody on offense. And, he backs up what he's talking about, man. And
I
it
like
really,
watching a lot of the behind the scenes footage. Like that's why I'm a fan of that show, Coach Prime. I like to see what goes on behind the cameras, and you could tell. Like, and I'm not comparing him saying he's Kobe at a football field. I'm saying that he has that mentality in him. So to the Eagles, yeah, he's Kobe. To his family, like, yeah, bro, be that. But realize what you being that way, what that can bring out of somebody else.
yeah,
You walk in that locker room with that type of energy and on that type of status, you have nothing else but to fall in line. You ain't nothing
Yep.
else to do
now,
but to
That's
fall in
leadership.
line. And it
Mhm.
make you want to go hard. That brings the dog out of you. Be careful of who you got allowed around you. Some people come to, but nah, he pouring into everybody, offense, defense, probably special teams. He probably got the equipment manager hyped up. That boy
yeah,
bring a different type of energy.
It
yeah,
really does. It puts a whole different vibe in the locker room with the team, with the teammates, with the ball boys, all that. I'm gonna throw mine in there, man. I think Kansas City's gonna put up a good fight, like always. But I'm gonna rock with the Eagles because I'm going by this past weekend's play. The Kansas City, they thrive off mistakes. If you make a mistake, they
Game over.
guarantee
Mhm.
that we're gonna take advantage of it.
Game
I
over.
didn't see too big by Philly, and I believe Philly has the defense to get to Mahomes. I think Philly has the defense to stop the run, to stop the pass, and hold them to a minimum. And I don't think they'll make as many mistakes as per se the Commanders or anything like that. And if we're talking a 3-point difference, I put Philly on top on that. So my pick's gonna be Philly, probably by I'd say about 6. I'd say a touchdown. Before we get ready to get to the end of this episode, Mr. Harvey, we know we can all talk about this, but we know we got the A's that's going to be visiting us for the next 3 years, maybe 4. How are we feeling about Sacramento accepting the previously Oakland A's, now being the Sacramento A's, soon to be within years the
Las Vegas.
Las
Las
Vegas
Vegas,
A's?
yeah.
A lot of
Well,
damn things going on, but while we got them, how y'all feeling about while we got them?
have you seen the patch?
I've
They
yeah.
seen
just
the back.
released the patch. They replaced
With the bridge,
the elephant with the Tower Bridge. Have y'all seen that patch?
Seen the
yes.
I have.
patch. I
I,
have.
Okay. Now, I haven't had any inside information on this or anything like that. Of course, I will be covering the A's for the Associated Press. You know, when they get here, I already covered a couple press conferences. I don't even know if this Las Vegas thing is solid, fellas. Okay, you're gonna change the patch from an elephant to the Tower Bridge just for 3 or 4 years that you're gonna be here. This fellas, I'm just saying, it could be a permanent thing. All right. I'm also aware that Las Vegas really don't want this team there, but
I've heard
because
that.
they don't like the owner, Fisher.
Mm.
I've heard.
All right. And also, he's already fallen behind in his bills. I mean, they're already overcost. with trying to build this new stadium out there in Las Vegas. Okay, all right, and he got to pay some money too. They trying to get the city of Las Vegas to pay. They got their ends, but to Fisher, I don't know. I also understand that Sacramento got all the space out there in the rail yard. They can build another stadium out here.
Yeah.
Okay. It could come down to this. This team could be here permanently. That's all I'm saying. Now, just to roll, forward and stuff, because they signed Luis Servino, pitcher from the New York Mets, over the summer. He's about 30, 31 years old, but he's definitely going to offer some leadership in that clubhouse. They start training camp here next month, February the 22nd to be exact. This thing's about to get rolling. I think it's going to inject some more energy into the city because now you have two sports here with the Kings and the A's. I'm liking that as well. We're just gonna see, how they're gonna do as far as on a diamond. Okay, are you here? You just gonna be playing in the water, or are you gonna put up some W's? Because if you put up some W, Sacramento will get behind you. Okay, it's getting to a point that Sacramento is not basically a basketball town. This is a sports town. This is a sports town. Okay. And I think baseball is going to add to that too, because now we're going to be seeing all the great, the teams coming through here, the New York Yankees. Okay. I think they got Chicago Cubs. My Cubs, that's their first series here in April, to kick things off. So I'm looking forward to all of this, but I'll go back and say this, and I'll let you guys chime in too. I really do believe, seeing how they released that patch, with the Tower Bridge. Okay, it's symbolic of the city and stuff that this team could be here to stay forever.
I'm for it. I'm actually all for it, man. With the A's coming to Sacramento, I mean, yeah, I'm a Bay boy, so I'm always going. I wanted them to stay in Oakland for whatever reasons, unbeknownst to me, or maybe I didn't do enough research. They're not. But them being right here, we're in the place where I, call home now, a part of home, and where I'm doing business at, it feels good. And if they can stay, oh, that's going to do wonders for not only the city, bro. It's going to probably rechange their franchise a little bit because I think it's a lot more active people who watch and support baseball who can now have a close proximity with this team and develop a relationship that they're going to want to get behind. And if they got the land to do it, why not?
I agree.
Fang, what's your thoughts?
Man, from from my father taking me as a kid to the Coliseum, for me getting my first autograph by Mark McGwire in the Coliseum when I was a kid, brings a lot of memories of both seeing the A's and Giants. He had the little glove days and hat days and bad days for the kids, man. I grew up basically being an Oakland A's fan and a Giants fan also, but it's lovely to see the team actually being in my city that I'm come from, actually playing in it. I'm pretty excited about that.
Dope. You guys make sure
that they color got green in it. That's really what it is. He just like the green.
He like the color green. So now you can go buy you a Sacramento A's jersey instead of wearing that old bull, that Eagles thing. No, I'm playing with you, bro. But anyway, hit the like button, smash that like button, hit the subscribe so you guys know when we're on here. Sacramento Kings, we're on a 2-game losing streak. We got the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Mr. Harvey, we got any updates on them?
Yeah, it's gonna be a few players out for Brooklyn tonight. Cam Johnson's not playing. Cam Thomas, he's not. Cam Thomas, he's not gonna play. From my understanding, De'Aaron Fox for the Kings, he will be playing. He's been dealing with a pinky injury for most of the season. I mean, it looks really crazy, but he's still trying to give it a go. Yes, they did lose the other night to the New York Knicks, 143-120. Was a beatdown. That was the second straight loss on the road. They're on a 6-game road trip. But and I think all the games that Doug Christie has lost since he's been the interim head coach since December 27th has been on the road. But they just got to play better defense. And tonight they need this win. They really do need this win. Now Brooklyn did beat them, earlier in the season here at Golden One Center, and that was under the direction of Jordi Fernandez, who was the assistant coach here last year for the Kings under Mike Brown. So this it's a lot of things going on tonight with this game. But one thing is that Sacramento didn't have to jump on the plane and fly in late at night and hit a hotel and start practice the next day. They still in the New York area, so they had a chance to rest for about 4 days. So we'll see what happens with that. They won't be returning back to Golden One Center to February 5th when they will play the Orlando Magics. And that's where we are. Oh, yeah, and their record is now 23-22. They were 3 games over 500. Now they're just 1 game over 500. So let's see if they can get this win tonight.
So Brooklyn came and beat Sac at Golden One, and now
yes,
Sac
they
is going
speed. Oh, yes, they
I'm
did.
old school with it, Tom. I'm old school with it. You came to my house and stole my cookies. I'm finna come to your house and take your whole refrigerator.
Man, hey, that's what Doug Christie be saying. You can't let somebody come in your house and take stuff.
All right, bro, that's
He
out,
said
man.
that. You can't do that. Okay,
I'll
what did
try.
they do? They rallied off 7 wins at home after that.
I'll try. Yeah, man.
You're right. Hey, my cookies is my cookies. If I give you one, that's cool. But you ain't coming here taking all my cookies and stuff like that.
I want your whole fridge, ice machine, water. And you better have a filter change. I'm coming for it all. Rick, you got my back? That's all I need. I need just one.
Go Kings, man. I love what Doug Christie is doing. He's actually playing all the players. He actually gave the rookie we drafted this year some love on the court. He's utilizing all his tools, and I like the way he's coaching. Man, they're playing for him, man. I think he really has a locker room, and that's one thing that in any sport, as far as a coach is concerned, you got to have a locker room, man. You don't have a locker room, and if the players don't believe in what you're teaching and your philosophy, then you're not going to win too many games.
You're right.
Obviously, that's what's been happening too since Doug's into his 14th game. That's basically what it is. I think he has control of that locker room.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe so. Well, y'all, that's about our time here at Heritage Sports Talk. I want to thank all my homies that's on here, Mr. Dwayne D. Speed, Mr. Ricky Fane,
Sheesh,
and my man Antonio Tony. Ray Harvey, I appreciate you. We'll be talking some more next week. We'll be back. This is Heritage Sports Talk. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to run it up to 1,000. Y'all stay in there on the.
I'm gonna be into your shop, man, and put you in the headlock later on.
Huh? What? I can't hear you.
He's gonna put you in a Philly headlock.
The Philly headlock.